The Mandalorian Episode 3 just came out, and it's time to review it.
Hey, Kyle. This is the way.
This is not the way. Welcome back to Eye to Eye, Disney Through Our Eyes. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jessica.
And it's time for another review. This time we're going to be doing the
Mandalorian, Chapter 3.
Episode 3.
No, Chapter 3.
I know it's Chapter
The
3.
Sin.
Ooh, the Sin. Seems
Look at me
scandalous.
remembering things.
That's the only thing that you're going to remember at this point, though.
Probably.
Look, you know, the fact that you remembered something is a miracle in of itself, and I'm thankful of that.
Okay.
So when you see, like, the first episode doesn't have a title, the second episode has the child, and then we're like, oh, that's like a feel-good title, and then all of a sudden, the Sin. But I don't really get what the sin is in this thing, I guess, because he went against his bounty at the end.
Right, we probably don't even talk about that yet.
Well, we do. By the way, spoilers here. It was on the thumbnail, everything. If you haven't watched the episode, please do not watch this review before.
Unless you want to be spoiled, but that's up
that's
to you.
the case, and we appreciate that you watching it. But just so you know, spoilers are ahead. And speaking of spoilers, I think we should, we do this on our movie reviews every time and again, but we also like to see if Jessica is a good, I got it right here. We also like to see if Jessica is good at giving you a full review of what happened in the action here. So we're going to try 60 or 30 seconds. Which one do you want to do?
You can do 45?
45, a good, like, in the middle there. All right, 45 seconds for Jessica to give us the full
He almost
synopsis.
gave me 6 minutes, so this is going very well.
She still wouldn't be able to get in 6 minutes. 45 seconds, Jessica, give us the full plot starting now.
Okay, so the Mandalorian, he had already given up the baby, and then he goes and he gets his money from the chief guy, I don't know, the guy, and he gets this bucket of money, but it's not really money, and then he takes it back to the lady that we think is a lady, and then she like melts it down, and he gets new armor, and then he looks really intense, and then he goes into this bar thing, and then he meets the guy, I don't know his name, Grief somebody, and then they give him another hit that he's supposed to go get. But then he realizes that all these people were like trying to get the baby. And so then he has to like go either get his other hit, but then they realize, oh crap, the baby is gonna die. So he has to get the baby. And then he gets the baby, and then they're all coming after him because he stole the baby that he originally got. I don't know. And the baby is like bad or good, I don't know.
What just happened?
Okay.
I think you need the full minute next time.
Here's what happened. I really have no idea what's going on because I don't know anybody's name.
You got one name right in that.
Okay, so that threw me off. Then I spent too much time talking about his armor, and I didn't mention the other Mandalorians.
You kept saying the lady, the guy, the man,
That's
the
what
person.
I'm saying. Like, if I had known their names, I would have used less time. So none of this went well. We learned nothing. And
we learned that Jessica... All right, well, enough of that. Let's actually talk about more specifics in it and what we liked about it, some things that stuck out to us. And I think the big thing is he's bringing it back to the guild.
He's bringing the bounty.
He's bringing Baby Yoda.
Which is not really his name, but that's what we call him.
That's what we call him. That's what everybody else calls him too. Baby Yoda is being brought back to the client is his name. We don't know his name.
That's his name.
The guy.
I almost called him the chief.
You did call him the chief. You didn't almost call him the chief.
Oh,
it was
I thought
the
I said
chief.
that in my head.
I'm going to start. Hey, chief, come on down.
Oh, chief, client. I was close.
So, brings it back to him.
Okay.
What are they going to do with him?
Well, I don't know.
Like
that's the question.
That's the big question. Like, so is it, if you look at the chief, the client, I call him the chief now too.
Sorry.
The client clearly has nefarious means for him.
Yes.
But Dr. Persing, the guy with the glasses,
the nerdy guy,
is clear. It's always the nerdy ones with the nice ones.
I know, right?
He clearly is not. He's wanting to kind of be nice and kind to this creature.
But is he allowed to actually be nice? Because if the client's like, no, you have to do what I say, and he's like, oh,
how is he again? One more time.
Because this guy's like head boss and he's little boss. So he just has to do whatever this guy says.
Yeah.
So even though he wants to be nice to Baby Yoda, the client's like, I have power.
Let's come back to what they're doing in just a second.
Okay.
How about this? So he gets his reward, which is a ton of that metal stuff. The Beskar armor, or the Beskar steel. I mean, like, he got like a brick last time. He gets like that much in like
a lot of them in a bucket.
It wasn't a bucket. It was like
a bucket.
It was not a bucket.
That's a bucket.
It is not a bucket. Enough of the buckets. But so he gets it. He takes it back to his, what we call it. What did they call it? Coven? No, I forget what they called.
A lair?
the lair for the Mandalorians. That's actually, I like that. The lair for the Mandalorians, and they do their little
He
schmelp.
takes it to that lady, like I said.
Yes.
And then something happens, and these other people are like, "Oh, we can't all be there at the same time."
The other Mandalorians.
Yes.
There wasn't a lot of explained stuff in this exposition in the part of the thing, but we learn a little bit about the Mandalorians in this. Like, obviously, they say, what's their favorite saying?
This is the way.
You just said it for the intro of this video.
That doesn't mean that I remember it, Kyle.
This is the way, is what they
This
say.
is the way.
They say the entire.
It sounds kind of like religious.
Well, I mean,
I guess
honestly,
ritualistic is the word I'm looking for. Ritualistic.
They're very religious, I think. I mean, think about it. They even said again in this, you don't take off your helmet. Or did you take off your helmet? Absolutely not.
I don't know that it's religious, more ritualistic.
But so
They,
if you know,
they follow all these rituals.
But in terms of that, it would be almost religious for them. This is that, because remember, he even said, this weapon is part of my religion in a previous episode.
Okay.
So this is a ritualistic or religious experience for them. Don't take off your helmet. War, battling, keeping their identity secret, all that stuff. And then having a code of honor, obviously, we find out later in the episode, is very important to them. So I like that we took some time to figure out a little bit more about the Mandalorians in this, It was kind of nice. So what's the next thing that sticks out to you?
So something that you pointed out to me during the episode, which I didn't understand, is the Mandalorian's parents died and something about the Clone Wars.
So remember the flashback?
I remember the flashback. How was I supposed to know that was the Mandalorian, though? How do you know that?
Because remember, that's where they're pounding on the metal, making it for his armor. And
right, I get that.
Every time he hears that clang, it kind of brings back a memory because it flashes to him watching the armor being made. And then all of a sudden there's a little flashback to that battle that's happening. I guess it's called the Purge or something like that.
I have absolutely no idea. That was so confusing to me.
But think about it. So he's having a flashback, and immediately there's this young child and his parents, and they store him away.
Right.
Where this battle with the droids is going on.
Right.
And then as soon as they close him into a little shelter area, there's another blast. And I guess we assume that he's dead. The parents are dead at this point. I mean,
I assumed he was dead, but clearly he's not.
Well, I mean, when you open it up, when the next thing opens up is a droid, you think, oh crap, he's probably dead, but obviously not, because he's here right now. But that's just kind of, there's a little bit more information about what happened in his childhood overall. Yeah. Let's go back to motives for Baby Yoda, because this is kind of where we're at in the story.
Right. So
why do they want him?
Well, we don't know yet, but we see the doctor holding Baby Yoda down, and he's got like this machine over him, like with all these little lines and stuff. So
that could be,
I have no idea.
It could be a couple things. Maybe they had already done what they needed to do to him, and that was like the hospital bed for him. Or was it a cloning machine? I am of the opinion they're trying to clone Baby Yoda, because they obviously know what we know now from episode 2. They are one with the Force, strong with it, because he did the whole little mud horn wavy around in the air.
But how do we know that this isn't actually Yoda?
Because like this is after episode 6, where Yoda has already passed away. Now, there are some people with a theory that it's reincarnation, but I don't think so. I think it's just another of his species, and
I don't know how y'all understand this enough to have.
You just gotta, follow the sequence of events here. It'll come to you at some point.
Will it?
It will at some point.
This is like physics. That never came to me.
All right. So he steals back Baby Yoda.
Yes.
And
chaos ensues.
So
basically, remember they had talked about how there were a lot of hits for Baby Yoda, and there were a lot of people going after him.
Yeah, everybody had all the fobs everywhere.
Right, but we didn't know how many fobs until the Mandalorian
literally
steals Baby Yoda. And then all of a sudden it's like, beep, beep, beep.
Well, earlier in the episode he said, we all had the fobs, but you really get a grasp for it as soon as he steals back Baby Yoda.
And they're just coming out of the woodwork.
Well, and they all look up and they've got the little beeper things on there, and then it's like, oh crap, you know exactly what's going to happen. They're all coming for him as he's trying to escape with Baby Yoda. And that really got me excited, because I was like, this is going to go down really awesomely. And he walks down that little corridor towards the ship, and sure enough, Greef and the rest of the bounty hunters are there to meet him, and an incredible battle ensues. It was awesome. You don't like the battle scenes?
I don't like action. It's just not my thing.
You got to learn to appreciate the artistry of it.
I agree. It was very well done. It's just not for me. This is through our eyes. My eyes hate this. Your eyes love it.
You just like Baby Yoda because he's cute.
I do think he's cute.
I bet. Little green lizard guy.
Yeah, with those little 3 fingers.
Little 3 fingers there. But the battle is obviously won by the Mandalorian, or else our show would be over.
Well, I don't know that it's necessarily won. He escapes.
By the hand of the other Mandalorians. They came to save him.
Yes.
You looked lost there for just a second.
I was, because the way you phrased that was very strange. But
they came and saved him. Yes. And in their religion, or what we learned about them there, is that currently only one of them can come out at a time. What do you think about that? Why do you think that is?
I have no idea what that even means.
So like, there's, they live in that underground thing.
Right.
And they said that only one of them can come out at a time right now.
But obviously that's a lie, since they all came out into the real world.
But I think what this says is they have an honor code, and like they look out for each other, so to speak. So they obviously somehow knew he was in trouble. Right. Because they came out to let him escape, and even said, "Get the kid out of here, we'll cover you." And then at the end, when he's flying away, you see the guy kind of salute him and fly off into the distance. He does, and he made the funny comment. He was like, "I gotta get me one of those things." Talking about the jetpack. Do you want one of those things? Like,
no, no, I don't like heights, Kyle. That'd be terrifying.
You don't like action. You don't like heights. What do you like?
Frozen 2. That's probably going to be my jam.
That's coming up at the end of this thing here. It's we'll do that one in a different video. But overall, we took a little bit extra time in this one. Again, they slowed down the story and didn't move right along. We stood in a place, and we're not bouncing around to 1,000 places. Now, big question what are our big questions leaving this episode? What's the big one for you that you have?
Mine is he going to take the tracker off of Baby Yoda?
Because he clearly there's clearly a tracker on there.
Right. So my thing would be, as soon as he gets up in the air, he needs to be finding that tracker and ripping that sucker off. Like,
rip that Band-Aid off.
I mean, literally, like, otherwise all these people are going to keep coming for you. Yeah.
So we thought the little bassinet, is that what you call that? Little floaty orb thing that he was in that was tossed aside in this was the tracking thing.
Obviously not.
Obviously not, because they all came after him. Or is the tracker on him? No, because it...
No, because it didn't ping until he grabbed Yoda.
Yeah, so who activated it? Because it's not Greef Karga, because remember his came on too. So is it the client that activated it?
I just assumed it was always activated. I don't even understand.
I'm interested about who actually activated it now. But anyway, the point is, he got out of there with Baby Yoda. My question is, now that he is kind of on the outs with the guild of bounty hunters, he's had a bounty he was going to go after before he went back to save Baby Yoda, the Mon Calamari guy, the fish guy.
Yes. That looks like Admiral Akbar.
He obviously is still going to need money.
Right.
Does he, or armor pieces, does he go after that even with on the run from them? Because he doesn't have to take the bounty back to Greef Karga, but he does have to take it back to whoever the client is for that bounty. So maybe he can get paid for it. I don't know. That's what I want to know about in the next episode. Jessica's obviously confused. Is the theme of this. And we hope that you're not as confused as Jessica is in this. But I'm sure you have plenty of questions from this episode or this chapter of The Mandalorian. We want to hear from you in the comments section below what you thought about chapter 3 of The Mandalorian, The Sin. Comments and questions down below. They'd love to hear from you, and make sure you vote in our poll as well. What else should they do?
Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss one of our videos.
And that's all we have for you in this edition of Eye to Eye, but until we assemble again,
may the Force be with you.
And we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
When were you there?
Good morning.
What have you been doing while I was asleep?
A lot of things. You slept all morning.
I did not. Did not.
I have no idea what I did.
I was going to have.
Wait.
You're like too delayed. Like,